What if I told you that the most powerful anti-aging strategies available to women over 45 are hiding in plain sight, not in expensive serums, not in painful procedures, and definitely not in those celebrity-endorsed miracle creams that cost more than your monthly grocery bill? The 5 secrets I'm about to share with you today are backed by peer-reviewed science, studied at leading institutions around the world, and almost nobody is talking about them. I'm not going to waste your time with generic advice like drink more water or get enough sleep. You deserve better than that. What I'm going to give you is specific, actionable, and rooted in how your biology actually works after 45. So if you're a woman in your mid-40s, 50s, or beyond, and you feel like the conventional anti-aging conversation is leaving you out, this video is for you. Stay with me through all 5 secrets, because secret number 5 is the one most dermatologists and anti-aging experts are only now beginning to publicly acknowledge. And it may be the most important of all. Let's begin. The first secret has to do with something happening inside your cells right now, and most women have never even heard the word for it. It's called cellular senescence, and understanding it could completely change how you think about aging. What is cellular senescence? As we age, certain cells in our body stop dividing but refuse to die. Scientists call these zombie cells, or more formally, senescent cells. These cells don't just sit there harmlessly. They actively release toxic inflammatory signals that damage surrounding healthy tissue. A landmark 2016 study published in the journal Nature Medicine, led by Dr. James Kirkland at the Mayo Clinic, demonstrated that removing just a small percentage of these senescent cells in aging mice significantly extended their health span, meaning the number of years they lived in good health, by over 25%. How does this apply to you? In women over 45, the accumulation of senescent cells accelerates dramatically, particularly around and after menopause. This is directly linked to increased skin thinning, loss of elasticity, joint inflammation, and even cognitive fog. But here's what's extraordinary. A growing class of compounds called Senolytics have been shown to selectively clear these zombie cells from the body. The 2 most studied natural senolytics are quercetin, found in capers, red onions, and kale, and ficedin, found in strawberries and apples. A 2019 clinical pilot study published in eBiomedicine showed that a short-course senolytic regimen reduced circulating senescent cell burden in older adults within just 3 weeks. What you can do? While pharmaceutical-grade senolytic protocols are still in clinical trial phases, the dietary approach is accessible right now. Researchers suggest consuming quercetin-rich foods consistently throughout the week, alongside vitamin C, which has been shown to enhance quercetin's bioavailability. More importantly, reduce factors that accelerate senescent cell accumulation, chronic UV exposure, smoking, high-sugar diets, and chronic psychological stress are the 4 biggest accelerators identified in the literature. One thing to note, always consult with your physician before starting any supplement regimen, especially if you are on prescription medication. This information is educational, not medical advice. Secret number 2 is something that affects virtually every woman over 45, but it is almost never explained properly, even by well-meaning doctors. It is the estrogen-collagen connection. The science of collagen loss after menopause. Collagen is the structural protein that gives your skin its firmness, your joints their cushioning, and your bones their density. And estrogen, the hormone that declines sharply around perimenopause and menopause, is one of its primary regulators. A pivotal study published in the British Journal of Dermatology found that women lose approximately 30% of their skin collagen in the first 5 years after menopause. That's not gradual, that is a rapid, biologically driven collapse. After that initial decline, collagen continues to decrease at roughly 2% per year. B-roll, skin cross-section graphic showing collagen fiber density. Why topical collagen rarely works? Here's where I want to challenge something you have probably been told or sold. Most topical collagen creams cannot significantly restore collagen at the dermal level because collagen molecules are simply too large to penetrate through the outer skin barrier. What actually works, according to the science, operates from the inside out. Here are 3 evidence-based strategies. First, collagen peptide supplementation. A 2019 double-blind, placebo-controlled study in the Journal of Medical Nutrition and Nutraceuticals showed that women who consumed 2.5 to 5 grams of hydrolyzed collagen peptides daily for 8 weeks showed measurably improved skin elasticity compared to the placebo group. Second, vitamin C is non-negotiable. It is the essential cofactor in collagen synthesis. Without adequate vitamin C, your body literally cannot produce collagen, regardless of what else you're doing. The recommended range for collagen support is 500 milligrams to 1,000 milligrams daily from food or supplements. Third, topical retinoids. Unlike collagen creams, prescription-strength retinoids and their over-the-counter cousins, retinol, work by stimulating fibroblast activity, the cells that produce collagen. A meta-analysis in the Journal of the American Academy of Dermatology confirmed their efficacy in reducing fine lines and improving skin density in postmenopausal women. The takeaway from secret number 2. Your estrogen decline is real, and it impacts your skin profoundly. But it is not a sentence. Collagen peptides, vitamin C, and retinoids form a science-backed triad that can meaningfully counteract these changes. Secret number 3 is perhaps the most underappreciated breakthrough in aging science in the last decade. And it centers on something most people associate only with digestion: the gut microbiome. Your gut is aging your face. The human gut contains approximately 38 trillion microorganisms, bacteria, fungi, viruses that collectively form your microbiome. In recent years, researchers have discovered that the composition of this microbiome has a direct, measurable effect on skin aging, systemic inflammation, cognitive function, and even hormonal balance. A 2020 study published in Nature Aging introduced the concept of the microbiome clock. The idea that the diversity and balance of your gut bacteria is a measurable predictor of biological aging, independent of chronological age. Women with more diverse microbiomes showed significantly lower markers of inflammaging, a term researchers use for the chronic low-grade inflammation that drives accelerated aging. The gut-skin connection. There is now substantial evidence for what scientists call the gut-skin axis. Dysbiosis, an imbalance in gut bacteria, is linked to increased intestinal permeability, commonly called leaky gut. This allows bacterial toxins called lipopolysaccharides to enter the bloodstream, triggering systemic inflammation that manifests visibly in the skin as accelerated wrinkling, uneven tone, and reduced healing capacity. For women over 45, this is particularly relevant because menopause itself disrupts the gut microbiome. A 2021 study in Mesostems found that postmenopausal women had significantly reduced populations of lactobacillus and bifidobacterium species compared to premenopausal women of similar health status. 3 research-backed ways to restore your microbiome. Number 1. Diversify your plant intake. Researchers at the American Gut Project found that people who consumed more than 30 different plant species per week had significantly more diverse microbiomes than those eating fewer than 10. This doesn't mean 30 different meals. Herbs, spices, nuts, seeds, and different vegetables all count. Number 2. Fermented foods, not just probiotic supplements. A 2021 Stanford University randomized controlled trial published in Cell showed that a diet high in fermented foods, yogurt, kefir, kimchi, sauerkraut, kombucha, increased microbiome diversity and decreased inflammatory markers more effectively than a high-fiber diet alone. Number 3. Polyphenol-rich foods. Compounds like resveratrol in red grapes, ellagic acid in pomegranates, and EGCG in green tea act as prebiotics. They selectively nourish beneficial bacteria. A 2022 review in Antioxidants found polyphenol intake to be independently associated with slowed biological aging in women. Secret number 3 in summary. Your gut microbiome is a living, modifiable organ of aging, and you have more control over it than you may think. Secret number 4 is going to challenge a pervasive myth that has held women back from one of the most powerful anti-aging interventions in existence. The myth that cardio is king when it comes to staying young. The science says something very different. Muscle mass as a biomarker of longevity. After the age of 30, women begin losing muscle mass at a rate of 3 to 5% per decade, a process called sarcopenia. After 45, this accelerates. And this loss is not merely cosmetic. Muscle mass is one of the strongest independent predictors of longevity and metabolic health in women. A landmark 2022 study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition followed over 11,000 postmenopausal women for 15 years and found that those with higher muscle mass had a 30% lower all-cause mortality risk, even after controlling for body weight, cardiovascular health, and other variables. What resistance training does to your hormones and skin. Beyond longevity, resistance training has direct anti-aging effects at the hormonal and cellular level. It stimulates the production of IGF-1, insulin-like growth factor, which promotes collagen synthesis and skin regeneration. It also triggers the release of myokines, muscle-derived signaling proteins that reduce systemic inflammation and improve brain function. A 2020 study in Aging Cell found that older adults who performed resistance training twice a week had measurably longer telomeres, the protective caps on chromosomes that shorten as we age, compared to sedentary peers. Additionally, resistance training is the single most effective tool for combating the metabolic slowdown that accelerates after menopause. It increases resting metabolic rate and improves insulin sensitivity, two factors directly tied to how you look and how you age. The protocol that research supports. You do not need to train like an athlete. The research supports meaningful benefit from as little as 2 resistance training sessions per week, each 30 to 45 minutes in duration, targeting all major muscle groups. A 2019 meta-analysis in the British Journal of Sports Medicine confirmed that twice-weekly progressive resistance training produced significant improvements in strength, body composition, and quality of life in postmenopausal women, even those beginning in their 60s and 70s. If you are new to resistance training, I recommend beginning with a certified personal trainer or a physical therapist familiar with postmenopausal physiology. Starting safely is far more important than starting fast. Secret number 4. Resistance training is not optional for women who want to age powerfully. It is, arguably, the closest thing science has to a true fountain of youth, and it is freely available to almost everyone. Now we arrive at secret number 5. And I told you at the beginning that this one is the most underappreciated, even among health professionals. I want to make sure you understand why. The secret is this: when you eat, sleep, and exercise may matter as much as what you eat, how much you sleep, and how you exercise. This field is called circadian biology, and it is having a revolutionary moment in aging science. Your biological clock is real, and it's aging you. Every cell in your body operates on a roughly 24-hour biological clock, synchronized to light and darkness. This is your circadian rhythm. When this rhythm is aligned, meaning you wake with light, eat during daylight hours, and sleep in darkness, your body performs cellular repair, hormonal regulation, and immune function with maximum efficiency. When your circadian rhythm is disrupted through irregular sleep, late-night eating, shift work, or excessive artificial light at night, the consequences for aging are significant. A 2019 study published in PNAS found that circadian disruption accelerated cellular aging biomarkers in human subjects by the equivalent of years of chronological aging in just a few weeks. Chrononutrition. Eating in sync with your clock. One of the most evidence-supported strategies emerging from this field is time-restricted eating, not for weight loss, but for circadian alignment. A 2022 study in the New England Journal of Medicine reviewed multiple randomized controlled trials on time-restricted eating and found consistent improvements in metabolic markers, inflammatory biomarkers, and even skin health among women over 45 who confine their eating window to 8 to 10 hours during daylight. The mechanism is fascinating. Eating at night, when your body expects darkness and fasting, disrupts the expression of clock genes in your liver, gut lining, and even your skin cells, impairing the cellular repair processes that happen during your natural fasting window. Light is medicine. Morning light anchors everything. Perhaps the most actionable finding from circadian science is this: 10 minutes of direct morning sunlight exposure within 1 hour of waking is among the most powerful tools available to regulate your entire circadian system. Neuroscientist Dr. Andrew Huberman of Stanford University has been instrumental in communicating this research to the public. Morning light exposure sets your cortisol awakening response, a healthy, brief cortisol spike that energizes the body and synchronizes peripheral clocks throughout your tissues, including your skin. Conversely, avoiding bright artificial light after 9 p.m. allows melatonin, your master circadian hormone, to rise naturally, enabling the deep, restorative sleep during which human growth hormone is released and cellular repair is performed. Practical implementation. To leverage secret number 5, start with these 3 anchors. First, get outdoor light in your eyes within 60 minutes of waking. No sunglasses during this brief window. Second, eat your largest meals earlier in the day, ideally before 3 p.m., when digestive enzyme activity and insulin sensitivity are at their daily peak. Third, dim your indoor lighting and avoid screens 2 hours before bed, or use blue light filtering glasses. These are not lifestyle hacks. These are biological imperatives that your body is asking you to follow, and when you do, the anti-aging effects compound quietly and powerfully over time. Let's bring it all together. 5 secrets that the science supports and that most women over 45 are never told. Secret 1. Senolytics and